tease. That's how it shall be. Uh, I was gonna watch this, but I don't really know. But let's do it.
I was a correction officer at Rikers Island for 2 years. Rikers Island is an island with 9 jails that house inmates awaiting trial. There's been multiple occasions when I've been touring and an inmate will pull his penis out, will masturbate. They would set fires.
Well, I don't know if I can watch this on Twitch. I might be able to, but it's wild.
In their cell. You can be walking doing your tour, and all of a sudden, urine or feces is thrown at you. The inmates are in there for murder, rape, domestic violence, burglary, robbery. It's just an island filled with gangs that are constantly trying to kill each other. Almost all of them had weapons, knives, or sharp objects. Officers would be assaulted daily. It can range from a broken nose to a broken eye socket,
What the fuck?
broken bones, broken ribs. There's no limit to what these inmates would do to you. We
My
are
goodness.
at a time where the inmates are running the prison. There is definitely officers accepting bribes.
Whoa. Whoa. That's no good. That's
I was
crazy.
hired to provide custody, care, and control of the inmates. The system has definitely failed everyone involved. The
Yeah,
inmates,
for
the
sure.
officers, everyone involved is suffering.
How would you bribe? Like, how would someone bribe a like guard? Like, would it be like someone on the outside is like, "Yo, we pay you to make sure that this guy can do whatever"?
60 people quit in one day. Your captains,
What? 60 people quit in one day? Oh my goodness. Like, I don't know. That's probably why the private prison industry, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't think prison really is the answer. Like, if we actually try to reform individuals, then they wouldn't be like held up in these. There's
would
probably layers to why people are in the situations they are in, but man, this is crazy.
side with the inmate before they would side with you. They're worried about that publicity because they're trying to keep certain things under wraps. Drugs is very rampant. There's K2, fentanyl, marijuana. Any drug basically you could think of, they probably have it. The value of any drug in jail is worth much.
How are they getting this in jail? Like people, I mean, obviously there's probably ways for it to get into the jails, but like, what the heck?
More than it would be worth on the outside, maybe like 5 times more.
Oh, I
There
believe
is
that.
definitely officers accepting bribes. Not only officers, but civilians bring it in as well. The people who are in
What?
charge of programs, doctors,
Oh my
nurses.
gosh.
During the pandemic, visits were suspended, so they weren't getting them through visits. Some of them are scared.
Wait, what? So pretty much this is the whole. Oh my gosh.
Some of them do it for the money. On Rikers, the alcohol is called hooch.
Okay.
And what they would
Yeah.
do is save their fruits and they would
Hooch. I feel like isn't that what college kids drink? They make some weird drink, or is that not what it's called? Maybe I'm wrong. But damn, what the heck?
ferment the fruit. They would mix it with hot water and sugar
Okay.
and they would let it sit there. And then they would get drunk. They would become very touchy feely. Then they would become aggressive. And then they would start fighting each other, start arguing. It would just lead to disaster.
What you're telling me is you get some hot water and sugar and some fruit. You let it sit in there for a minute, and you get alcohol.
I remember the first time that an inmate
Oh
masturbated in
man,
front of me.
what the
I was
heck?
feeding them through the feeding slot. Once you open their slot to put their tray, they would like put their penis in the slot. I screamed and the other officers on the floor was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "He's masturbating." And they were like, "Oh, He does that to everyone. Like it
So
was just normal.
dismissive. So
I
dismissive.
felt violated.
That's
I
not
felt
good, yo.
disrespected. I felt scared. I remember being scared to do my tours. There was
Yeah, I
a
would be
time
too.
in the building that I worked where an inmate got into the A station where a female officer was. He was
What?
able to rip her duty belt off, rip her pants off. Thankfully, an officer came, was able to come and help her. He was being held for rape. I believe his intentions were to rape her.
Oh my
They
gosh.
suggested that we wear Spanx underneath our uniform for just in case. It shouldn't be a just in case. Am I going to go to work today and is my belt going to be ripped off? Some of the inmates are used to the pepper spray, so it does nothing to them. And then there's others that threaten you. If you do use your spray, I'm going to cut you. You're in a position like, do I spray and get cut? Or what do I do?
What
There's some
the
of your
heck is
captains are there
going
just
on
to
in prisons, bro?
tear you down. If you report something, or you get into an incident, they want to know, what did you do wrong? What didn't you not do to prevent it? You're more likely to end up in jail being a correction officer than you would as a civilian on the street. Suicide attempts on Rikers.
Did she just say you're more likely to end up in jail as a correction officer over a civilian? That is crazy. I wonder what these people are having to do to be like what are the rules? Oh my gosh. The whole system is messed up.
Are pretty common. It breaks my heart. They are humans and they do have families that love them and are waiting for them to come home. It's just sad. Typically, there are about 50 inmates to one officer. The job was so draining that I would literally come from work and sleep until my next shift the next morning.
Oh my
Then the
gosh.
pandemic hit, and that's when I actually started getting stuck. That's 16 hours back to back. My coworker called me from the jail. She's like, I'm on 24 hours and they won't let me leave. And they're saying if I walk off the post, I'm going to get suspended. You're on
Holy
post for 24 hours and then a fight breaks out and they expect you to do everything right on no sleep.
you that is they're working in some harsh conditions, man. Like, damn.
You're supposed to still do your duties to the best of your ability. I have seen female officers terminated.
We need to work on having less people in prison. I think that is what we need to focus on.
For having relationships with the inmates.
Huh?
There have been incidents where officers have been impregnated by inmates. Once you start a relationship with an inmate, or once you say yes to them once, you can't say no because you're locked in. You're trapped at that point. I didn't have a coping method.
I mean, I guess you kind of would be, but I mean, like, do they form a relationship with them because, like what, man, what's going on in these prisons now? These people need help. The correction officers need backup. And these prisoners need therapy. Everybody needs help. Damn it, everybody. Oh my gosh. This is more stressful than trying to play Beyond Two Souls, man. Trying to play these dang scary games, Elden Ring, a boss, all this, man. What the heck?
I had chest pain. I've had
Oh,
colleagues
my
died from heart
gosh.
attacks. I remember
What?
thinking I'm 21 and I'm gonna have a heart attack. I hit rock bottom. I
What?
actually tried to quit like 3 times. You know, they would always convince me to stay in the fight.
It's
I
toxic.
remember getting to a
That's
point where I was
toxic.
like, I can't do this anymore. Just give me the paper to sign and I'm done. I remember still feeling that chest pain for probably up to 5 months after I quit until it went
Oh
away.
my
Right
goodness.
after me, hundreds of people were quitting. If I can talk to an officer that was looking to join corrections, I would tell them, don't do it. It's not worth your quality of life. It's not worth your mental health. And until there is some sort of structure and safety, you shouldn't even consider it.
Oh my gosh. That sounds horrible, man. I mean, that is horrible, but damn. Like, oh my god. I feel bad for all of them. Man, why are we all messed up as people, bro? What's wrong with humans? Like I just watched that crow video and they were like, all mammals with intelligence like to be angry and dominate each other and flex for no reason. And the birds, they're just like, how about we hang out with each other and we raise each other and we help each other and we survive. Like, we're not like that at all, bro. Like, wow, this right here is just sickening. Like, why do one? Why are we putting like I understand people are criminals and like they have to like pay for what they've done. I guess that's what we want. We want justice for the actions that what they've done. But like, what does putting them in an environment like this and then having people who, like you have these correction officers who have to be in the same situation as them, but like can't, what I'm saying, can't leave, can't get away. Like you all trap them, they're prisoners just as much as the actual prisoners, and then like that's not good for their mental health for one, like at all. Like that, like my goodness, man. I remember I was watching that chapter, and there was like this lady lost her husband, and then like she was a correction officer as well, and then like was just spent like after instead of grieving like spent all her time just like working in the jail, and then eventually that she was the one that like I think she like formed the relationship with that one that recently where she like ran off with that guy and they try to escape, and I mean that was just crazy, man. Like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for like everyone because like one, they don't like, yeah, they again like, yeah, they should pay for what they did or serve their time, I guess, but like actually help these people, you know like I feel like putting them in a box and being like, here's your lunch, like I guess, yeah, absolutely, we don't want them to have freedom, they need absolute security so that they can like, gain structure, but like do we actually teach coping mechanisms to the individuals that are in the jail, or are we just kind of like letting them sit there and then like everyone's trauma affects everyone else and just allow that to compound and create more issues within that system, and then like you have people who aren't used to this type of life and are just wanting to make sure that they're trying to serve society the best way they thought they should, and then you lock you lock them in this prison as well, and then their mental health suffers because, like, man,